You look so good! You look so good! You look so good! Oh my god! Ah! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Very casual. It's Demi Lovato.
Oh my god!
I told you I'm gonna do this intro on you, so yeah. Okay. We gotta brag on you, okay? It's appropriate. We gotta do it. Grammy-nominated global music singer and Demi Lovato's debut album, Don't Forget, in 2008 was followed by sold-out world tours, 5 more hit records, including her most recent "Tell Me You Love Me" featuring Sorry.
Yes!
It's climbed to #1 on the charts. No big deal. So many amazing things. You're soon going to appear on NBC's Will and Grace, Netflix Eurovision with Will Ferrell and Rachel McAdams. I mean, you're going to clap again because it's Demi Lovato. Thank you so much for being here.
And thank you for having me. It's really exciting to be here.
I would die for you!
Okay, so today we're going to talk about self-love and strength. And I was really excited to talk to you about this because I think that it's an incredibly underrated topic, especially in the space of mental health and growing up, and also being in the spotlight, which you've experienced. How have you been able to navigate, being in the spotlight, and how has your opinion of it, of yourself, your work, all of it, changed over the past 5 years?
Well, over the past 5 years, I've changed a lot. Like, I've gone through a lot. And this is like really my first public thing.
We're proud of
Forgive me if I'm a little nervous, I haven't done anything in front of an audience except for, thank you. But with self-love, it's just like, I think if anything, over the past 5 years, I've learned that like, life is not worth living unless you're living it for yourself. And if you're doing things for other people, it's not gonna work out. Like if you are trying to be someone that you're not, to please other people, it's not gonna work out in the long run. So it's just better to stay true to yourself, be who you are, and do little things to take care of yourself throughout the day that will, build your self-esteem, whether it's helping others or self-affirmations or gratitude lists. There's tons of things you can do, but yeah, I mean, that's a loaded question for what I've learned over the past 5 years, because over the past year, I've learned a ton. And I feel like I've never been more in tune with who I am than where I'm at today.
Woo! So we're going to take it back a little bit to Disney days and talk about that. So what do you wish you would have known back then? Being in the public eye when you were a teenager, what do you wish you would have known looking back now?
I wish that I would have known, one, that it is best to just live your life without hiding anything. So like, I think I spent so many years trying to put on the role model front, rather than just like being true to myself and just like being me. And I always I tried to refrain from getting tattoos when I was young because I was afraid that if Disney saw, I'd get in trouble or something. And really they just covered it up. It's not a big deal. So it's just better to be yourself. And if you want to dye your hair purple, dye your hair purple. You know what I mean? If you want to love someone of the same sex, love someone of the same sex. Just be yourself and don't be afraid of what anyone's going to think.
gay rights.
So what would you say are things that currently make you feel strong?
Things that currently make me feel strong. Well, I just now got back into the gym. I took a long break from the gym because I was like,
We love you.
I needed to. I needed a break to want to work out again. So getting back into the gym has helped me a lot. The past couple of days, jiu-jitsu is something that I'm extremely passionate about and I absolutely love. That makes me feel strong. And then just also building great relationships in my life makes me feel strong too, because then I know I have a great foundation and a great support system behind me as well.
How have you, in this journey, you were saying in this past year, you really feel like you're more in tune with yourself than ever. Why do you feel like that is?
I think it's just been a very introspective year for me. I've learned a lot, I've been through a lot, and I think as time goes on, as I'm being faced with challenges in my life, on a daily basis. Like we all are, we're human, we deal with stuff, you know, whether it's getting angry in a traffic jam or like you stub your toe or something. It's just now that I'm constantly watching how I react to certain things. Even just yesterday, like I got a message from somebody that I haven't talked to in forever, and you know, the way that I would have handled it a year ago would have been like I would have told this person off, but I just didn't respond. You know, I took a step back, and it's little things like that where instead of just immediately reacting, you take a more adult approach and you think things through before saying them.
You've also been really vocal, you know, just about feeling good about yourself and your body. And what have you learned in that journey? Because I think that really has such an amazing impact on people who follow you, and just really seeing how confident you are about, you know, accepting yourself and having that self-love.
Well, for so many years, I dealt with an eating disorder. That's something that I talked about, you know, over my career. And what I wasn't ever open with myself about is that I was actually, whenever I was in the gym over the past couple of years, I was doing it to a very unhealthy extreme. And I think that's what led me down a darker path, and that I was still engaging in these behaviors. And so for me, you know, embracing my body the way that it is naturally was the reason why I took the month of October off from the gym. Because normally I would try to squeeze myself into a tiny little costume to impress somebody, right? But this Halloween, like, and I did wear the cute stuff too, but
Yes, Pennywise.
I didn't like slave in the gym every single day and be like, oh, I can't have this cookie because I have to fit into my Halloween costume. Instead, I literally took the opposite approach, which is I'm just gonna take every day, day by day. If I wanna work out, great. If I don't, then I don't. And a huge thing for me has been body acceptance. I feel like something that is not really spoken about a lot is body acceptance. We hear the terms body positivity all the time, but to be honest, I don't always feel positive about my body. You know, like sometimes I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh, I do not like what I see. But in those moments, I don't sit there and dwell on it. And I also don't lie to myself and try to tell myself in the mirror. I used to do this all the time. Sorry, I'm rambling, but this is really good, I promise. I used to look in the mirror if I was having like a bad body image day. I used to look in the mirror and I used to be like, I love my body, you're beautifully and wonderfully made. But the thing was is I didn't believe it. So then I just would resent it. And every time I would say it, I would be like, you're lying to yourself. Why are you lying to yourself? What nobody taught me and I had to figure out over the past 6 to 9 months is that I have to be okay with where it's at in this moment. I don't have to lie to myself and tell myself that I have this amazing body. It's like, if I don't feel it, I don't have to say that. All I have to say is, I'm healthy. In that statement, I express gratitude and I express, you know, I am grateful for my strength, the things that I can do with my body, but I also am saying I'm healthy and I accept my body for the way that it is today in this moment without changing anything. And with that, it helped me to take a step back from the gym and not be so obsessive over that. To post unedited pictures on the internet, you know, even though I know there's going to be people that have something to say about them. You just can't worry about it anymore, and you just have to live your life for you.
Yeah. You stand up, body positive queen.
You talked about how you were bullied when you were younger, and I think also just in this crazy world, you are probably, you know, bullied, and a lot of people say crazy things to you on social media. How do you deal with that? How do you, you know, take time away from social media?
You know, people are always going to have something new to say. You cannot please every single person on the planet. You just can't. It's not possible because everybody's idea of what beauty is or success, it's different, it's subjective to everybody. So you can't please everybody. Knowing that is really helpful. Sometimes also just understanding that we now live in a world where everybody says whatever they want on the internet. So I'm the type of person where, like, if you have something to say, I'd rather you bring it to me in person. You know, I don't believe that, I don't take people seriously when they're sitting behind a computer screen. You know, it's just, you can say a lot of things behind a computer screen that you wouldn't say to my face. Because you know my jujitsu skills.
Punch me.
But not. And, like, you know, it's just like, it's also, we live in a day and age where, like, everyone's so quick to cancel everybody. And I'm really, really tired of it, to be honest. Like, people just make mistakes. And if we don't learn learn from them. Like, some things are really bad, okay? Some things are like, you don't get a second chance. That was really messed up. But no, for the most part, people say things, and I've made mistakes, and nobody's perfect. So just understanding that, like, we live in a world where everyone's going to jump on your case for something. You can't worry about everybody, but if you did say something wrong, like, learn from it and think, okay, what can I do from not making this mistake again?
Yes.
So how do you handle, the demands of obviously, working on music and being on shows, but also just finding time for yourself and your own self-care and what do you want to do?
I kind of have mapped out my schedule where I don't work past like 7 p.m. because those hours of like 7 p.m. to midnight, those are for like me, myself, my friends, my family, whatever else I need to get done. If I want to get a spray tan, if I want to get my nails done, a massage, like you do those things in those hours. For the rest of the day, I save it for work and whatever else, and whatever else I could do. So I just set aside certain like hours in my day for that.
And so how do you decide when to engage on social media and when to just be like, I need to put this phone down, like I'm doing too much?
That's a good question. My publicist is probably going to ask the same question. Like, when are you going to stop? No. I say how I feel online, and sometimes I say too much, and sometimes, but I'm human, I think that's also another reason why I have my fans, an awesome fan base, is because you guys respect me for the things that I have to say. You value my opinions, and it's great. But I don't really know where I was going with that. It's my first interview back. So.
Yeah, she's doing things. So what do you, like, in this past year, you were saying you've learned so much. What would you want, your fans and young people who really look up to you to, one thing that you would say that you would want them to know that you've really learned?
One thing that I've really, really cherished learning about my life over the past year is that you have to want your life and the outcome of your life for you. Nobody else can wish the outcome of your life upon you. You have to make decisions that are going to get you closer to your dreams, closer to your goals in life, and just only live your life for yourself. And if that includes helping other people in the process, then by all means help other people. But you can only chase your own dream, and you can only live your own life, so do you.
I think also you're at that weird, incredibly level of fame where anything that you do, people are going to have something to say and have a problem with. And so how have you dealt with that, and how has that affected your mental health and your own space that you keep to yourself?
Well, what people don't realize, I think, is that I'm actually an extremely sensitive person. Like, when somebody says something mean about me on the internet or makes a meme making fun of me, like, I have a pretty good sense of humor, but when it's at the expense of like a very serious subject, it can be really hurtful. And if it's something that I've dealt with, it can be really hurtful. And so, I still, like, I'm human. And so, like, even if you have an account that's like, I'm a Demi fan, like that's the name, and then you only post pictures of me, and then like you leave one comment that's like, you look like Lord Farquaad, with that haircut. I was like, damn, that kind of sucks. And so, like, I am human, so be easy on me. And I'm so tired of pretending like I'm not human. That's one thing that I won't do anymore. Like, when you say stuff, it affects me. I am human. I try not to look, but I see it. So, like, go easy on us. We are humans, And, like, we, as in the people that, like, you're commenting about. You know what I mean? You don't think we see it, but we do. And we also see the incredible support and the love and the gratitude that you guys express for us. And so, I know you do, thank you. And like when I'm able to see both sides, it really pulls me out of like the zeroing in on the negative. So that drains out everything, and I'm so grateful for that. But yeah, I'm human, and I think that's important to remember when, like, as a society, we're so plugged into the internet and making opinions on Kylie Jenner's hair color. Like, go easy on her. You know what I mean? It's just a wig, anyways. a good wig too. Very good.
So when you look in the mirror, what do you see? I know this is a deep question, but
what I see in the mirror, I see someone that's overcome a lot. Like, if I could change my middle name to Resilience, which I can, so I don't know why I just said that. Like,
Do it.
I would, but I wouldn't, you know. Like, I don't see a championship winner in there, but I see a fighter, and I see someone that's gonna continue to fight no matter what challenges are thrown their way. And I know that when I have a lot of confidence now because I have confidence in the things that I believe in and the things that I say. So I know that I can hold my own when I'm on a first date with somebody and I'm having a conversation with someone. I know I can hold my own. I can make them laugh. And so I don't know. That's what I see when I look in the mirror as a strong woman.
And conversely, I mean, what do you want others to see now? Because you have gone through so much. What do you want others to see?
Genuinely, I just want people to remember that I'm a singer. Like, I think that a lot of the things that I've been through have kind of outshined my successes in the music industry or acting now. You know, I'm getting back into acting, and I just want people to remember that, like, that's what I want to give to the world, so please focus on that and not the other things, you know? And if I can help people with the things that I've learned, like, definitely, in due time. Right now, just remember I'm just a singer who loves making music, and like I've chosen this to be the path for my life, and I want to share this music with you so that you can listen to it when you're going through a rough time. But yeah, ultimately, like, I'm human and I have my issues, but that's what I want you to remember.
So what advice would you give to anyone here that wants to get into the industry and is looking up to you?
Run. No. I'm just kidding. Well, it is something to take into consideration. If you do want to become a singer, an actor, or something, or even an influencer, you know, just remember that when you put yourself out there, that's something that I couldn't comprehend as a child. I started in this industry at 7, 8 years old. So, of course, when you're 7 or 8 years old and you say, do you want to be an actress or a singer? You're like, yeah, put me on stage. And you aren't even old enough to understand the consequences that come with fame. And yes, fame is a privilege. You know, it gets you a lot of things that you don't normally get, but there are downsides to it. And I think it's important to remember those downsides when you are making that choice for the rest of your life. Because once you're famous, you can't not be famous anymore. You can't just like, I mean, you can cover your face everywhere, but what kind of life is that, you know? So I wish I would have known that as like a child, like, hey, this is really what you're doing. But I wouldn't change the direction of my life for anything. Like I said, I've learned so much that I would never regret anything. I love the person that I am today.
If you are able to share anything, like what can we look forward to then?
Oh my God!
I have new music. I'm just teasing you. So here's the thing. Here's the thing with new music. I know you guys have wanted it since I released my last song. But it's important to remember that I am so cautious this time around of jumping back into things. I've really decided to take my time with things. So when the time is right to release new music, I will put it out there, and nobody is more anxious than you guys, than me. Like, I am dying to release new music. There have been times where I'm like, well, can't I just release a snippet? And it's like, no, everything in due time. So there is a reason why it's taking longer, but it's only because I'm trying to perfect that music for you guys. And yes, with acting, like I'm getting back into that. Which I never thought I would say because I, you know, having had body image issues, was afraid to get back on camera for the longest time. But now that I've kind of jumped over that hurdle again, where I'm like, I'm not letting my body image issues hold me back in life,
I'm going after my other goals and my other dreams, and you'll see me in Eurovision next year. And hopefully more projects as well.
Take your time.
Thanks, guys.
All these comments are yelling at you are very cute.
I know, right? I know, and I want to respond to each one, but then you're all gonna start yelling, and that's gonna get messy. So if I don't respond to yours, it's not personal. It's just, I'm trying to keep it going. I love you though.
What makes you laugh and continue to fight and be motivated to do all these things? Because you really do have so much strength, and we all love you, and that's why I think we all just look up to you and really admire you, and we see it. And so what have you found to be the motivation in that?
It's kind of funny because people always ask me the question, they're like, what do you, you've been through so much, how do you keep fighting? How do you keep going? And it's like, I've never had any other choice. I've never said okay, I'm broken, to me, that's not just a place in life where I've ever gotten to and that I ever want to stay in. When things get hard for me, I'm like, okay, what can I learn from this? How can I get out of it? There's never been another option of I'm gonna let it take me down, Maybe that was just the way I was raised. Maybe I'm a Leo, and that's just because I'm a Leo. I don't know what it is. Or maybe it's just because internally, I am that fighter. And but I don't know. I've just always kept pushing. I've always kept going. And the things that make me laugh, my friends keep me laughing. I try to find the humor in everything, and yeah, and you guys make me laugh too. I swear. So here's something that I want to do. I want to start an account, an Instagram account, just for my fans.
Oh my God.
And I think we already got the name for it, but I want to start it, and I want to repost your memes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you're hilarious.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's you today.
Yeah, right.
Well, thank you so much. We so appreciate you being here. Thank you, Demi.
Thank you.